federal government shutdown has now entered its 36th day, setting a new record as the longest in U.S. history. Around 750,000 federal workers remain furloughed, while millions more are working without pay. Economists warn that this standoff could cost the U.S. economy up to $14 billion and shave as much as 2% off fourth quarter GDP. In Washington, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, both Democrats from New York, sent a letter to President Donald Trump this Wednesday. They are calling for a bipartisan meeting to end the shutdown and address what they describe as a Republican healthcare crisis. The letter, likely emboldened by recent election victories in Virginia, New Jersey, and the New York City mayoral race, signals Democrats' readiness to meet with Trump anytime and any place. That phrasing, some observers note, seems to echo Trump's own signature style in closing his social media posts.
Last night was a great night for America and a 5-alarm fire for Donald Trump and Republicans. The Republicans' high-cost House is on fire, and they've only got themselves to blame. As loudly and clearly as they could have, the American people said last night, enough is enough. Enough with Donald Trump's tariffs, which are overwhelmingly being paid for by working people and small businesses. Enough with Republicans' relentless attack on health care, where people are seeing their premiums go up by thousands of dollars, even each month, and they may have to be without health care altogether. Last night was a sign that if Republicans continue with their failed policies, their majorities are at risk, including here in this Senate chamber. The election showed that Democratic control of the Senate is much closer than people and prognosticators realize. So let me say it again. Republicans' high-cost House is on fire, and they've only got themselves to blame. And by the way, that's not just my opinion, it's Donald Trump's opinion. Last night, he said that the shutdown is a negative factor for the Republicans. When addressing why he had lost, this is what Trump said. The shutdown was a big factor, negative for Republicans. And let me read what Trump said last night. He said, this is Donald Trump speaking, Trump wasn't on the ballot, and the shutdown were the two reasons Republicans lost elections tonight. That's what Trump said. Trump admits that the Republican shutdown is hurting him and his party.
The move appears strategic, putting GOP leaders on the defensive while harnessing momentum from the Democrat base. It also highlights the party's intention to tie future funding negotiations to healthcare subsidies and broader social spending. Meanwhile, a bipartisan group of senators is quietly working to break the impasse. Reports suggest they are considering a proposal that would pass 3 appropriations bills to fund several agencies for a full year, while temporarily reopening the rest of the government. In exchange, Senate Republicans would guarantee a future vote on extending Obamacare subsidies, a key demand from Democrats. President Trump, speaking at a Wednesday morning breakfast with GOP senators, pressed his party to end the Senate filibuster, calling it the only way to overcome Democrat obstruction. He criticized Democrats as kamikaze pilots, prolonging what he calls a Democrat-created shutdown, warning that millions of Americans are being hurt as the government remains closed.
So as you know, we are in the midst of a disastrous Democrat-created government shutdown, and it is Democrat-created, but I don't think they're getting really the blame that they should. That's now officially the longest shutdown in American history. The Democrat radicals in the Senate have shown zero interest in reopening the government, and I don't think they'll act so soon. A lot of people disagree. I've been saying for the last 30 days, we've had 4 or 5 different points. Yes, sir, they're going to get it right now. We should have it done in a day. I've heard that about 4 times. I heard it after Kings. You know, they said I was a king. And I heard it after Kings. I heard it after a couple of other moments in time. And I said, no, I don't believe so. And now I heard it's after the election. I don't believe so. I think they will. I think they're kamikaze pilots. I just got back from Japan. I talked about the kamikaze pilots. I think these guys are kamikaze. They'll take down the country if they have to. So I don't think so. Millions of Americans are going to be without SNAP benefits. And I will say about SNAP benefits, so when I was president, we had $7 billion worth, and now they have many times that, because these benefits were given to anybody that asked, and they're up to, I hear, just many times, 47 billion. So it wasn't the purpose of SNAP. It was for people that really had problems, down and out, people that really had problems. But during Biden, they gave it to anybody that wanted it. I think it's something you have to talk about because the numbers are incredible. But countless public servants are now not being paid, and the air traffic control system is under increasing strain. We must get the government back open soon, and really immediately. We have to get it up. We have the hottest economy we've ever had, and it's affecting the stock market now a little bit. But the stock market, as of Friday, has hit many record highs during the last 9 months, many. And it will again. This is just the beginning, because when these plants that are being built right now start opening up, we've never had anything like this. There's a boom. There's a construction boom right now, but that's going to be bigger than that. That's going to be an economic boom as soon as they open up, and it's going to be something special. We have car companies coming in. When I was in Japan, Toyota, Mr. Toyota, I said, "What's your name?" "Toyota." I said, "Oh, you're rich." I said, "How much of the company do you own?" 92.1%. I said, "I'm glad you said the one. He wants to be." I said, "You're a rich guy." And he said, "I'm investing $10 billion in the U.S." And you know who I'm talking about, right? You introduced me, Mr. Senator. You introduced me originally when you were the ambassador to Japan. He's still good. He's still strong. But he had no interest in investing in this country. Now he's investing $10 billion as of 1 week ago in building new plants. We have auto plants coming in incredibly, but we have AI and all of them. And we can't be extorted to give $1.5 trillion to people that came into the country illegally, many from prisons, many drug dealers. A lot of people came in from mental institutions. They want to give a lot of money to the people that came in illegally. We have to get them out. We can't, no country can sustain that. That's not like an attack on our country. In no country, these are not going to be productive people. These are going to be anti-productive people. And we can all have big hearts. I have a bigger heart than anybody, but we can't let that happen. It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so that's a long time. But when they can't do an extension, and John, I think they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill. And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open.